Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much, Cyber Kuja, for getting first. Hi, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much, Asbestos, for the follow. Welcome to the Cub Arcade and the Bear Who Cares Chewunky. It's nice to meet you. Hi, Slidey. Thank you for the Chibu Today I am here with my co-host with the most, Podge.
Hi. I'm not late. What are you talking about?
Oh, Podge, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, I'm Podge. I'm a Goblin Maid VTuber, live 2D artist and rigger. Oh god, ASM artist, singer. I do too many things. Cosplayer. I'm very gay. And I use any pronouns.
Very Podge, very Podge. Well, thank you so much, Valentine, for the follow. Welcome to the Cub Arcade. So today we're gonna be going over. Oh, we're going over a lot. A goblin with many hats. This is true. Very true.
Many hats. I do actually, in fact, have a hat. Check out my hat.
Oh! I have a hat too. I have my little hatty hat. I can take this one off, but I can also. I have my special hat. My special hat.
Special hat.
No.
I love.
When I want to yeehaw.
Sometimes you just gotta yeehaw, you know?
Sometimes you just gotta, when they're riding on that booty.
That's why we have the hat.
Exactly. We gotta keep cool in this hot, this heat.
Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. Right? I keep apologizing to my chat because I'm like, I'm not gonna make you any cooler.
He's gonna spice things up a little even more. Thank you so much, Hazel Flame Free Tea, for the follow. Welcome to the Cub Arcade. We're gonna be going over sexualities because there's a lot of different terms that we use. We use a lot of umbrella terms. I'm just gonna be going over a little bit of those in the beginning, and then we're gonna be going into kinks and fetishes. And then after that, a little bit during as well, some of the a little bit of sex education for you all about safe sex practices for the LGBT. Just because I know when I was a baby gay, no one ever told me, hey, Chewy, there's a thing called a douche?
There's a thing called prep? Like,
yeah.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, there's so many, I know gay men are like, there's it's like, oh, we don't need condoms. Hate to break it to you, bucko.
Alas. Listen, I like him raw more than anyone, but we're all about safe sex practices here.
Yes, this is 100%. Especially during Pride Month, with all of our Pride festivals going around. You know, everyone has to make sure to stay protected, stay free, stop the spread. Obviously. We want to be able to have more old gays. I know there's not,
Yes. We're missing like an entire generation of gays.
Exactly. We're missing so many, and we want to be able to stick around. We want some old grandpa gays.
Yeah, we need grandpa gays.
Thank you so much, Jesse, for the follow. More grandpa gays.
Yeah.
I love that term, grandpa gays, too.
Me too. Instead of a silver fox, are they silver bears?
Oh yeah. Well, some people refer to them as like polar bears.
I love that. Oh my god.
We love the polar bears, the big old with all the white fur everywhere.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm gonna be when I grow up. There's a big old polar bear.
Let's go.
Thank you so much, Ember Gloves, for the follow. Welcome in. So we're going to be starting off with a little bit of a list of some terms. We're going to be starting off alphabetically with A for ace.
Ace. Let's go.
An umbrella term specifically used to describe a lack of varying or occasional experiences of sexual and or romantic attractions. It encompasses asexual people, as well as those who identify as demisexual, gray sexual, etc. Ace people who experience romantic attraction or occasional sexual attraction might also use terms such as gay, bi, lesbian, straight, and queer in conjunction with asexuality to describe the direction of their romantic and sexual attraction.
Yes.
When talking about ace, a lot of people, they just think they go straight towards the asexuality, and they're like, you don't like sex at all. Which is a big misconception.
It's not even like a dislike of sex in its entirety. Like some ace people are very into like sexual media, you know, artwork depicting sex, like fictional sex. They just don't want to engage in sex themselves. But that doesn't mean they don't like depictions of it.
Exactly. And even you know, a lot of ace people also, you know, maybe they don't like sex with other people, but a lot of them find pleasure in self. Oh my goodness, terms, losing my brain here.
Jerking it,
yeah. Jerking it, you know, going in.
That's a scientific term.
Yes, yeah. We're very, very scientific over here, you know. With all of these terms, very scientific. Jerking it, you know, flicking it, going in, going to town.
Yeah, just on oneself. No one else needed.
Exactly. I know one ace streamer who really enjoys talking about smut. There's many. I know. I have a good friend, Fairy Sammy. Sammy. Yes. Oh, they love smut. They love a good smut. They even have a book right now that they were writing. I can't remember what it is, but I remember they read a tidbit and I was like, ooh.
Right?
Even I'm getting a little steamy over here.
Right? Fairy Sammy's actually an excellent example of an ace creator who is, you know, into sexual media. And she talks about it a lot. She has a lot of short form content too that kind of talks about it. So if you really want to educate yourself on that chat, check out Fairy Sammy.
Definitely. I'm gonna give him a little shout out here as well, so you can just get a direct link to it. Now, continuing on with asexuality as well. Oh yeah. Oh my god, and their art. Oh
yeah.
My Lord.
Also made and rigged their own model.
Oh, so gorgeous. All of their models.
Yep.
Oh,
They
I
are
love
actually one of the
that.
people who inspired me when I was creating my first version of Podge. Like, they were one of the first VTubers I ever saw.
Oh my goodness. They
Yeah.
I remember seeing them, and they inspired me for Chuwu because they were one of the only plus size VTubers that I
Right?
had seen as well. I was like, oh my goodness, that model.
Right?
Oh my god, so
I
beautiful.
was like, we can be thick.
Exactly. I was like, wait, you're telling me I don't have to look like I'm straight from Yuri on Ice?
Mm-hmm.
Continuing with Ace, we also have a romanticism, which can be entangled with different sexualities. So a lot of these terms we're going to be going over have two different parts to them: the sexual parts and the romantic parts, where sexuality goes inherently straight into it, whether they have an innate sexual attraction or whether they want to engage in intercourse, and romanticism being if they would like to explore, romantic options. And there's a whole bunch of different types of romantic options as well, which I actually I wasn't really too informed on that myself. When we were talking about aromanticism, I remember one of my friends was saying, yeah, I identify as aromantic, but my sort of romance with my partner is more along the lines of just a friendship, something that they
Right.
see, and that's what they enjoy more rather than normalized romanticism.
Yeah. It's more like, and they were roommates.
Exact, and they were
Yeah,
roommates.
and they were roommates. I actually have a friend who's very similar in that regard, where they have a friend that in every respect is their partner, but it's not a romantic partnership. It's a friendship where they are, together in that way, but there's nothing romantic that comes out of that.
Which is a completely valid and an
Yeah.
understandable relationship as well. Which I see that some people, may tend to try and diminish. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Words today, I swear. But talking about Ace and Arrow spectrum being umbrella terms also used to describe the wide group of people who experience a lack of and of varying occasional experiences of both. We also have allo next on our list for allosexual and alloromantic. Is it allo or alo? My honestly words are hard.
I think it's aloe, like the
Aloe?
plant, like
Like
aloe.
aloe vera?
Yeah,
That's what
like
I was
aloe vera.
thinking, but I see the word all, and my American brain is like, all.
I'm not sure. I feel like you could probably pronounce it whatever way works for you, but I'm honestly not sure.
We'll say alo. Alo, I think it gives a little bit of a little ooh, like alo sexual.
Ooh.
Alo people experience sexual and romantic attraction and do not identify as on the ace or arrow spectrum. Alo is to ace and arrow spectrum identities as straight is to LGBT plus spectrum identities. It's important to use a word that equalizes the experience. Otherwise, the opposite to ace and arrow becomes normal, which is sort of stigmatizing.
Right. I feel like allosexual is more of a term of convenience, right? To say, like, instead of saying I am not asexual, you can just say I'm allosexual. Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
experience sexual attraction. But it's not like, I don't think a lot of people strictly identify as it.
Yeah. I'd say
Yeah.
it's not. I don't want to say not necessarily an identity, but more along the terms
No.
of a defining factor. Like when people say,
Yes.
"Yeah, I'm
Yes.
ace," like I'm aromantic, but I'm also demisexual.
Yes.
Going next on the little A train, we have aro and aromantic, which all is encompassed in the asexual, but specifically aromantic are people who do not experience romantic attraction. They can experience sexual attractions while others do not, where aromantic people who experience sexual attractions or maybe an occasional romantic attraction. We have to remember that on the ace spectrum, it's not 100%. There can be moments where maybe they do experience at least a little bit of a sexual attraction, but it's sort of the lacking of or very, very limited amount of sexual and or romantic attractions.
Yeah, like I myself kind of I'm still not sure because we're always discovering things about ourselves, right? But I feel like I am somewhere in that zone of like a romantic. It's very difficult for me to develop a romantic attraction, and I when I do, like I'm poly and I usually only have one romantic partner. But like being sexual is very easy for me. Being romantic is much harder.
Which is completely valid as well, because there's so many reasons where like for me, I completely understand, like being sexual becomes so easily to me, but finding a partner, finding someone who I trust enough to share that romantic interest in was very, very hard for me. Cause I feel like when I was a bit younger, I had went on my ho-escapades, my ho-escapades.
Yeah, your hoe era.
Yes. And I was like, oh yeah, it's so easy to find someone just to have a good time with. The saying, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly.
But then I'm like, I kind of want to find someone that I can share a little bit of romantic attraction to. And that was so much harder. Much harder.
Yeah, I kind of find the same thing. Like, I've even had partners where like, I start with a romantic attraction to them, and then just like at some point it's just gone. And not for really any reason. Just like I'm like, nope, the vibe's not there anymore. It's just not there.
Yeah. Which also like completely valid. We change as people, and so do our interests.
Is there a common term for being like on the opposite side of the spectrum from ace arrow, like past allo? I mean, allosexual, the term, like the definition of it is experiencing sexual attraction. I think the next thing beyond that would be looking into like hypersexuality, but that's actually a disorder. Hypersexuality is a disorder. And a lot, like there are a lot of people who say they're hypersexual, but they don't actually understand what that means. Hypersexuality is more when you use sex as a way to like your body craves sex because it craves the chemicals that are produced during sex, and you like sometimes you can't do anything but chase that orgasm. Hypersexuality is a disorder, not like a identity, really. Like it's actual medical condition. So I would say allosexual is probably the term you would want to use. It may be the case that you have hypersexuality, but that's something that has to be like diagnosed.
Yeah. Moving from ace to ally. Whenever I see the word ally now, it reminds me of the I think was it a Vine where it's like, this is Valentina, she's an ally, speak Valentina, ally. I'm so dumb, I'm sorry. But allies are typically straight and or cis people who support members of the LGBT. A quick little shout out to our allies.
Yes, we do love our allies.
Allies, the most oppressed part of the LGBT.
Yeah. But when is straight pride, Chiwu?
Oh my god. Well, you see coming over here pretty soon. Oh
Y'all
my
got
god.
364 days of the year.
Honestly. Oh my goodness. I had someone come up to me and they were like, well, why didn't we get a straight pride? I was like, oh, so how many countries is it banned to be straight in?
Yeah.
How many? I was like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, did you have to? I have to Google whether or not it's safe for me to travel places.
I feel like a lot of people don't do their research because, ignorance is bliss, and they
Mhm.
don't realize that pride stemmed out of protest.
Mhm.
It is
Mhm.
it's not a party, it's a protest. That has thankfully been able to turn into a celebration and a party, but we are still protesting, we are still fighting. We're still fighting for those rights in a lot of places in this world. So that is why we need pride. And I'm sure
Exactly.
everybody here understands that, but there's a lot of people around that don't.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, as they say, we didn't get here by asking nicely.
No.
I've been on the servers out of Pride Rules, and people thought it was controversial.
Those are servers I don't want to be in.
Same.
If they have people that think that's controversial.
How I don't even understand how that's even controversial. Like, there's so many roles out there. Like, just
Mhm.
I feel like roles also help like identify, especially in Discord. I thought that was so neat that you could add so many.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad it was a
Yeah, yeah.
minority. But even then, like, those
It's
people,
like we're gonna have a chat.
I don't think they don't belong in my community at the very least.
Mhm. Yeah,
Moving on
and
to B2. Oh yeah, go.
I was just gonna say for all our allies in the
Mhm,
chat, if you would like to know the history of Pride, please look up the Stonewall riots,
mhm, mhm,
and that's kind of where it started, like I would say in our modern history,
mhm,
um, and if you want to learn and read more about it, yeah, the Stonewall riots.
mhm, mhm. If you want any figureheads, Marsha P. Johnson and Silvio
Yep.
Rivera.
Oh
Beautiful,
yeah.
beautiful. Oh, thank you for loving. Thank you for the true care, my love. Mwah. Um, Also, please remember, um, I say this jokingly, but it's something that a lot of queer people don't know, but no one died at Stonewall, and there was not a first actual brick. There's not like an actual brick that was immortalized as the first bricks thrown at Stonewall. Um,
Mhm.
I just say that because I've had a lot of people. There's a joke with a drag queen who was on it, and they were like, "Oh, with all those people whose lives were lost at Stonewall, no one died at Stonewall."
There's sensationalism in everything.
uh, Going on to B, we have the term of bi.
The buys.
Bi. Bisexuality and biromanticism is a large umbrella term, which there's have you heard of the fight of people fighting about using the term bisexuality versus pansexuality?
Yes, actually, because I am a pansexual.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to talk a bit about that if you want.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, there is a lot of discourse about whether or not pansexual should be a term or if everyone should just, you know, clam up and say they're bisexual. But here's the difference. This is how I like to explain it. Bisexual means you still have a preference for certain genders. Um, bisexual could include uh, women and non-binary people, or men and women, or men and non-binary people, or how it can include more than two. Um, but it is a preference for certain gender identifiers. Pansexual means you don't. It doesn't matter. You're not hung up on what gender someone is. You are attracted to the person outside of whatever gender they are. So I identify as pansexual because gender doesn't, like, I understand gender is important to people, but someone's gender does not play a part in my attraction to them. Whereas with bisexuality, gender plays a part in that attraction.
That's very, very well said. Very well said. So, you would say that bisexuality is more oh my god, I just had such a great term in my mind and I am slipping today. Oh my goodness. Gender preferred, whereas pansexuality is more gender like averse, where they don't need gender. It doesn't have really anything to do about their gender, but more about the person. Whereas the
Yeah.
bisexuality is more like a preference of gender.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say averse for pansexuality,
Mhm.
but it doesn't, it's not a factor. It's just simply not a factor in pansexuality. So if gender does play a role in your attraction to someone,
Mhm.
I would say you fall under bisexual. If gender does not play a role in your attraction to someone, then I would say you identify as pansexual.
Agreed, Tommy. Agreed. Yeah, that's probably one of the best explanations that I've heard about it too.
Thanks. I've had to explain it a lot. my a lot of people don't know this, but my thesis project in theater school was actually we my year produced a production on like gender, sexuality, trans issues and a whole bunch
Mhm.
of stuff. So we put a lot of research into this, and we all learned a lot about ourselves.
That sounds really fun. Mine was
Mm.
about a sigma called the rainbow ceiling, because I'm a business major. Similar to the
Ooh.
glass ceiling, the rainbow ceiling is the fact that LGBT people do not rise in Fortune 500 companies, similarly to women. But
That's
there's
really
about
interesting.
if I remember correctly, it's a 0.446% of queer LGBT identifying people in Fortune 500. Now, if there's any
Wow.
up there that are closeted, that's their own thing. But it's a very, 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 very small, minute
Yeah.
number that they do not improve, or they do not sort of go up the
Rise up the
social
ranks.
ladder. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't roll specifically because of their sexuality.
Mhm.
Which that
That's
one
really
was
interesting.
very, it was really, really, really interesting to find out, especially that one of the CEOs of Pepsi, I believe, was a lesbian woman. I was like, oh,
Really?
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
actually, oh, that's because I've had to think about this stuff before because one of my friends is the game director for Dragon Age 4
Oh.
at BioWare, and
Mhm.
she's a trans woman, and it's like it was a whole big thing when she got that position because like she's the first trans woman in gaming to be that high up the ladder.
Yeah, it's very, sometimes people they'll climb that ladder and then come out, but then they're met with criticism and they're like, well, why didn't you do it before? And it's like, there's a reason.
Yeah. Nope, she was already out, she was already transitioned, and yeah, so she made history with that.
I
Like it's
love
crazy.
that. I love that for her. Hi,
Mhm.
Jorgo. Hi. And play a role doesn't need to mean a preference. It could mean a difference in how you experience that attraction, even if it's the same level of attraction.
Yes. Yes. So for me,
Ooh.
I'm like gender, I hardly know her.
Oh my god, I had a friend, and it's just every word with er at the end was I hardly know. I was like, please, oh, give me the bonk, Neil.
Not the bonk. Oh, your bonk hammer's so
Oh
cute.
my god, I know. It's a free asset actually. I had found on Twitter because I didn't like just like the normal hammer. I was like, I want a cute
Yeah.
hammer. Oh,
I like
something
it.
cute.
Everything should be cute always.
Right? Very, very cute. Very pastel too.
This is why we love Chuhu. Chuhu is aesthetic as fuck.
I have to. I have to. I'm actually a little secret. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone, chat. I'm watching you. I'm actually getting a little bit of a redesign. I'm getting it
That's
from
exciting.
my one of my absolute favorite artists I have followed for years.
Oh
Like,
my god, that's so exciting.
oh my god. And they're working with me and they're like, yeah, you know, we can get this done like even by your birthday and this is, I was like, oh, please,
I can't wait.
oh, I'll make sure to send you a little a whip once I get it. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait.
Moving on in our little alphabet, we have C for cis and cisgender. Someone whose identity is the same as the sex they were assigned at birth. Non-trans is also used by some people. I find this to be a little funny when people are like, don't call me cisgender. I'm just a person. I'm like, that's scientifically correct.
But you have to be able to explain somehow. There has to be terminology for, like, there has to be terminology. Sis and me? Oh my god, run!
I'm just like,
Incredible.
what do you want me to call you? Like, we need some sort of like definition. Like, it's literally scientifically the name using as well. Like,
It's just like, you know, propaganda stuff being like cis is a slur. It's not a slur,
It's
guys. We're not slurring you.
if you wanted to, sir, I can just call you a strag.
Oh my god.
You can't just have
Like,
something and
it's
not
just-
have lore. Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta have the lore. Imagine not having lore as a VTuber. That's wild.
Yeah, crazy, crazy
I'm gonna
banana
start asking
buckers.
people instead of what they identify as. I'm gonna be like, "What's your lore?" Hi, nice to meet you. What's your lore?
I love that. I love that. They just hand you a backstory real quick. It's like, oh, here you go.
Yeah,
I love that.
whole ass character sheet.
Honestly, wait, that would be iconic if you just go up to someone and you're like, hey, what's up? And they're just like, oh, here's my character sheet. These are my do's. These are my don'ts.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, guys, CIS stands for Character Information Sheet.
I'm gonna do that at TwitchCon. Oh, I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard to save up money to go to TwitchCon.
Oh, Chu, if you go, you gotta let me know.
I know I'm trying because I live in Southern California. I like to say I live at Disneyland. That's what I say on stream. But
Disney.
I've been trying to save, but I work for a school district. I work for a middle school. I work with middle schoolers.
Ah.
And during the summer we don't get paid at all in
Right?
July.
And then September's a hard time to get time off.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's hard. It is very hard. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then all the lodging and everything. Oh, Lord, and
It's a
that.
lot.
It really, really is. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Moving from cis to the term coming out.
Coming out.
I'm coming out. I want the world to
World to
know.
know.
I gotta
Gotta
let it show. Actually, I learned the history of that song on TikTok from the producer. Actually, they said that when the AIDS epidemic was happening, that they wanted to write a song that was encompassing for the queer community, and so that's kind of how it started to make its way around when people were like, oh, this song is so queer coded, and it's like, that's because it's for us.
Because it is. I love that.
Hi, Amy. Hi. The coming out refers to when a person first tells someone or others, someone's, about their orientation and or gender identity, or sexual identity, and that's what we refer to as coming out. Well, some people say, I'm coming out of the closet. Other people, some people don't come out, and they're just like, oh yeah, this is my partner.
Yeah.
Which honestly I love. I live when that happens. One of my other favorite things is when people come out and they're like, oh my god, finally. And I'm like, it's kind of a read.
Yeah. Yeah. I like came out as needed.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Same.
it was so funny. Like when my ex-wife transitioned, everyone was like, "Podge, what are you gonna do now that you're married to a girl?" And I was like, "Joke's on you. I love women."
I love it. Hi, Rabble. Welcome in. Aren't the red and
Rabble!
blue in the Matrix supposed? Oh, are they?
They are, yes, because the Wachowski sisters are both trans.
That's an interesting fact. The way I like
Yes.
that. That's so slay.
And at the time, they were not out yet. So The Matrix
Oh,
has a lot of trans allegory in it.
that's really cool. Hey, let's go, Matrix. Okay, I see you.
Ooh.
Now going on to D for Demi.
Demi!
Demisexual or demi-romantic is also an umbrella term used to describe people who may only feel sexually or romantically attracted to people with whom they have formed an emotional bond. People may also use, the umbrella terms of gay, bi, cis, etc. in conjunction with demi to explain the direction of romantic and or sexual attraction as they experience it.
Mhm. I am whatever's the opposite of Demi. But I've had partners who were Demi. So that was very interesting, like learning to understand that experience.
Mm-mm. So when I was looking into a lot of things, because I came out to myself as queer not even too long ago. I want to say like last year, honestly. And I've been
Really?
been able to say more like last year or like 2 years ago, when I started B-tubing actually. So it was going on about 2 years where I was like, "Mm, I know I dress a little masculine. I may look a little masculine. But I don't really feel like a man. And I don't really like the term gay for myself.
Hmm.
And so I started more identifying with queer, and also
Hmm.
gender queer, as for my gender, because I'm like, the same way gender, I hardly know it.
Right? I
Oh my
feel you in that,
gosh.
my friend.
I'm just like, well, what if I want to wear a skirt? What if I want to be more femme? What if I want to and just mix it up? As Sasha
I
Velour says, gender's a construct, tear it apart, better than fiction, better than art.
Yeah, I agree. Like for me, I'm very much on the gender is a social construct thing, and in the
Mm-hmm,
same
mm-hmm.
vein, like clothes have no gender. You can wear
Exactly.
whatever you want. And some people, I think some people are so locked within what society has taught them that when I say that to them, you can see the gears turning in their head of being like, "Whoa, you're right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
no,
wear whatever I
honestly.
want." If you want to
Um,
buy your jeans in the girls section, you do it.
mhm.
Like,
The only thing is the sizing. Oh my gosh. The sizes can be so confusing when like trying to
yes.
convert from like,
Yup.
well, I wear this size in male. What do I wear in women's sizing? And I felt so bad because when I first
Well,
went
it's
into it,
ridiculous.
like I that's when I learned that like women's sizing is like, damn.
Yeah, it's all vanity sizing. Whereas as men's sizing is actually done by measurement,
Mm-hmm.
women's sizing is uh just a clusterfuck. It's all vanity sizing to make you feel skinnier.
Mm-hmm. I just buy
Which
whatever
is
fits.
stupid.
That's
Be
the mood.
thick.
Right? Be thick, be plus, be gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Women's sizing is 100% the biggest obstacle to shopping across the aisles. Honestly, I'm just like, I learned that. Hello, Brandon Geminis. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Cup Arcade and the Baby Cars Cheer. It was nice to meet you. When I started shopping in more along the lines of like the women's section, I found even the plus size section was very strange to me. But I found that in like cardigans, I guess I wear a 5 and it makes me feel so comfy cozy because they're so big. But the fit difference is also a little strange for me because I'm like, whoa, I have so much chest room.
And it differs between companies too. Like a pair of jeans that you may buy from like H&M is not the same size as a pair of jeans you would buy from like Old Navy, for example. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. Men's sizing so much easier.
It's so weird. Well, men's sizing too. It's so weird because I can buy an XL in one shirt brand, and then I go to an XL in another one, and I'm like, these are completely different. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh. But going back, next up on the list is F for femme. Femme is a term used in LGBT culture to describe someone who expresses themselves in a typically feminine way. There's other identities within the scope of femme, such as low femme, high femme, hard femme, but you shouldn't be using these terms about someone unless you know how they identify with them, because it can be seen as derogatory.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things where it's like you can self-describe, but maybe don't describe someone else that way.
Yeah. I'm just like, ooh, I'm looking so femme today. Another word that I really like saying, I don't know why, it just rolls off the tongue for me, is pussycat. I'm just like, I say that, I'm like, ooh. I don't know why. It just feels... I just kept saying it one day and I was annoying my fiance. He's like, okay, but what does that mean? And I'm like, it just means pussycat. What do you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just accept it, embrace it.
Right? Hello, Celestine. Welcome in. Next up, we have G. Oh, there's a lot in G. G for the first up, gay.
Gay.
Gay. Gay or European.
Is he gay or
European? Gay refers to somebody who has romantic and or sexual attraction towards the same gender. Also a generic term for, lesbian and gay sexually. Some women define themselves as gay rather than lesbian, and some non-binary people may also identify with this term.
I feel like gay has kind of become an umbrella term for like not hetero.
Yeah.
I
feel that
I say I'm gay all the time.
Right. I'm just like, yeah. Oh no, they're gay. They're part of the gay.
Yeah. They're one of the gays.
Yeah, they're one of the gays. I feel like, especially with like social media, it's become a little bit more widely used.
It's a good word. It's a short word. Like, it just, it feels good to say gay.
Right?
Yeah. It feels gay to say gay.
It feels so gay to say gay. I feel so happy. I feel so gay to say gay. Hello, Rainslayer. Welcome into the Cup Arcade and the Baby Girls Show. It's nice to meet you. Next up, we have gender. And with gender, we have gender dysphoria, gender expression, and gender identity. Gender often expressed in terms of masculinity or femininity. Gender is largely culturally determined and is assumed from the sex that was assigned at birth. Gender dysphoria is used to describe when a person experiences discomfort or distress because there's a mismatch between the sex assigned at birth and their gender identity. It is also the clinical diagnosis for someone who doesn't feel comfortable with the sex they were assigned at birth.
Oh boy, let me tell you. As a gender fluid person,
Oh my
some
lord.
days I'm like, where's my penis, bro? Why can't, where's my, I got these nice boobies, where's my penis also? Why can't I have it all?
We are. This is sex education. We're doing sexualities. We are doing a sort of sex education during Pride Month for all of us LGBTQ people over here.
Yeah. The LGBBs.
The LG babies. That's,
Yeah.
I've actually experienced right now with my Pride interviews. I have a lot of baby gays.
I also have I have in my community, I think, a lot of baby trans folks, and I love that because I get to go on that journey with them. We get to do this together.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, but I have actually had I've had two instances where my so many cracking eggs.
Yeah, I love cracking eggs. I love cracking
I love
eggs.
that. Where the interview questions were a little much for them because they were, just coming out with themselves, and they were like, this is a little much. I was like, I completely understand. Very, very completely understand.
Yeah,
Are we going
like,
over? Ooh.
oh, I can talk about that
Well.
later. Yes, I sure can. Yeah, like I think it's really wonderful that we've both cultivated communities where people feel safe to come out and feel like, that the information that we've given them has helped them learn something about themselves. And
Yes.
that's like one of the most fulfilling things to me is that my community feels educated and safe and has that ability to self-discover cuz I love that cuz I'm always discovering new things about myself too.
Same. I think that's one of the most important things. Like when we're really really discovering who we are, not just as LGBT folk, but as people, right? I think one of Marsha P. Johnson's most famous quotes is, "When will they learn that we are all brothers, sisters, and human beings?"
Mhm. Except for me, I'm a goblin.
And
Imagine being
goblins.
human. Couldn't be me.
No, I mean
Could
same.
not be me.
Imagine not being plush.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm straight but gay. I think I don't know anymore. That's okay. Hey,
You know what? Just do
okay.
you. You do you. And you don't need to put a label on it if you don't want to.
One of the a really really inspiring thing that one of my interviewees had said, was that labels, you don't have to worry about them. That's the great thing, because that just like a label on a grocery item, you can peel that shit off.
Yeah. You could just completely ignore that sticker. You can be like, this sign can't stop me. I can't even read.
Right? Like, I can't even read. I'm illiterate, and who cares? Whoa! Thank you for the catch.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Weeb. So now going on to gender identity. A person's innate sense of their own gender, whether female, male, or something else, as in like non-binary, genderqueer, etc., which may or may not correspond to the. Oh my god! I got a beard hair stuck in my mouth. But it may not correspond to the sex we assigned at birth.
Yes. Yeah, like I generally tell people I'm non-binary because it's easier. But if you want to get specific, I'm probably in that like gender fluid, gender queer zone. Basically it's like gender is a chore and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that chore.
Yeah, honestly. Happy Pride, Brandon. Please tell me. Honestly, I can't tell you what you are. Because that
You're
has
a
to
wife
come
guy.
from.
You love your wife.
Exactly. You love whoever you love. You love your wife. No matter what your wife is, that's who you love, right?
Yeah. You love your wife. And I love that for you. I actually, you may not have been here when I was talking about it, but I was married to my ex-wife while she transitioned as well. Um, and you know, a lot of people ask like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" Like, and that's kind of when I came out to my family to say like, "Well, jokes on you, I love women," but like, you know, it doesn't. I think that's a really good testament to like someone transitioning doesn't change who they are. They're still the same person. They're just a better version of themselves now because they can live the way that they've been meant to live,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hi, Vaughn. I'm sure I love food too. I mean, look at my belly. I love that.
But
I love that, Kay.
I think it's important to distinguish that like, you know, I don't know where I was going with that. I lost the train of thought.
It's
I lost
okay.
the train of thought.
No, my bits. Oh my. Oh, not my bouncing on the titties. I love the way he rides. Thank you for the bouncing on his bits. Oh no, Adele. Oh. Next up on our G list is gray.
Mm.
Sexual and romantic, known as gray. This is an umbrella term which describes people who experience attraction occasionally, rarely, or only under certain conditions. People may also use the other umbrella terms of sexuality in conjunction with gray to explain the direction of romantic or sexual attraction. I've had a few people who come and they question whether they should use gray or ace, and what the differences are on them.
Right. Um I mean, I think gray is like a perfect term for it really because it is like that sort of gray area between ace and you know, I guess aloe. Like
Mhm.
it's conditional. It's conditional.
Yeah,
Whereas I think like it encompasses a bit more than demi does and
mhm.
I think it's a bit of a looser term.
Definitely, definitely. I can see that too. I feel like just like you said, gray. It's in that gray area of explanation because it's not just one thing. It's a
Exactly.
combination.
Yeah. Like Gandalf the Grey. Yeah, maybe Gandalf's
Gandalf
like
the
that.
gay.
With his big naturals.
Right, right. Oh hell yeah, Brandon, nice. Next up we have H for homosexual, and heterosexual.
Mm.
Heterosexual refers to someone who has a romantic and or sexual attraction towards the opposite gender, usually referring to male and female, whereas homosexual, this term might be considered a more medical term used to describe someone who has a romantic and or sexual attraction towards someone of the same gender. The
Mhm.
term we use most in tandem with homosexual is the term gay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the follow, D Wiltchub. I feel like there was such a when I was growing up in high school, I graduated in 2017, so not too long ago. That there was such a fight with the terminology of
Mhm.
hetero and homosexual.
Mhm.
And I never really understood it.
Yeah, like I feel like now gay gets used as more of an umbrella term, but I think homosexual is like very much more specifically like attraction to the same gender.
Mm-hmm.
Um but also like gay homosexual gay.
Exactly. Period. I couldn't have
You
said it
know?
better
Period.
myself. Thank you for the Chibuka, Amy. Next up, we got I for intersex,
Yes.
which there was our guest, I believe two days ago, who brought up very good point that intersex people have a lot going on with them right now because especially in the United States because of the over 300 anti-trans bills
Yep.
also affects a lot of intersex people.
Yes. And there's a lot uh there's a lot of facets ass there's a lot of facets in the whole intersex situation because one, there are a lot more intersex people than people realize. Some people have no idea they're intersex. Some
Mhm.
people had intersex characteristics when they were born that were surgically removed at birth, and a
Mhm.
lot of people were never told. There's really interesting documentaries about it,
Yeah.
where their parents were like, I chose my kid's gender at birth, basically. Like, I chose what sex they were going to be. And a lot of it is like these people who are adults now saying, like, I wish my parents had never done that, or they chose incorrectly, or I wish that had been my choice.
Mhm.
Because, back then it was just like, well, your kid's going to suffer if they're not just one sex. So we better do so, like how circumcision is, where it's like that's just a thing that doctors do for some fucking reason.
Mhm.
Um and so like and there's actually a staggering amount of people who on this earth who are intersex, and a lot of it requires very specific medical care because
Yeah.
it can really affect your hormones. It can in people with uh ovaries and wombs. What's the term for a fucking womb? I my brain is so dead. But it can cause like endometriosis, which is incredibly painful. Um, there's intersex people will go through a lot of struggles, and a lot of it's kind of swept under the rug or seen as a non-issue, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah, that's why a lot of I know I don't have the flag on here, but the the Pride Progress flag, including intersex, is one that isn't used as much as you would think it would be.
Mhm.
But there are even some people who don't or who say that they don't include intersex in the LGBT.
And
Um,
I don't agree with that because they are a stigmatized, section of people. Like,
mhm.
um, it's very stigmatized, and there's been a lot of injustice for people who are born intersex. Like, it's intersex is not a it is not a choice. You are born that way. Like, your body is born that way, and uh, like you don't get to like just identify as intersex. It's a medical thing.
Mhm.
Um, so there's a lot of people out there who have struggled a lot medically because of that. Um, or have a lot of people who don't understand what intersex is, and it it can be really tough for them. Like, I have a few friends who are intersex, and they've had to deal with like a lot of medical stuff.
Yeah, it's very very hard. If also for those of you who don't know, intersex is the term used to describe a person who may have the biological attributes of both sexes, or whose biological attributes do not fit with societal assumptions about what it means to be male or female.
Hmm. You got a little bit of both.
Hmm. Moving from I for intersex, we have L for lesbian. For
Lesbian. The L word.
lesbianes, the L word, referring to a woman who has a romantic and or sexual attraction towards men. Some non-binary people may also identify with this term.
When
Um,
girls liked girls.
when the girls like the girls. Speaking of lesbian, I've been listening to a lot of Chaperone. Uh, I don't know why it's they like their music has just been so like ooh. I was talking with one of my friends and like, that's so funny because that's not you. I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm singing as if I'm like, oh my god, yes, I love. I actually listen to the
Listen,
lyrics and I'm like, oh, a
you can
little
still
spicy.
vibe.
What is it? Their song "Casual." When I first listened to it, I was jamming, and then I listened to the lyrics, and they were talking about having someone go down and eat them out while they were driving. I was like, oh, oh.
Public service announcement. Don't do that. That's how you get in a car accident.
That's very dangerous. A little hot for me, but very dangerous.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Literally. I haven't done it before. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Next, we're going on to N for non-binary. Yay! An umbrella term for people whose gender identity doesn't sit comfortably with man or woman. Non-binary identities are varied and can include people who identify with some aspects of the binary identities, while some reject them entirely.
I reject your societal assumptions.
How do you think I'll identify with any of them genders?
Again, gender? I hardly know her.
Exactly. Moving on to O for orientation.
Yes.
Orientation is an umbrella term describing a person's attraction to other people. This attraction can be sexual and or romantic. These terms refer to a person's sense of identity based on their attractions or lack thereof. They're, included but not limited to lesbian, gay, bi, ace, straight. Basically, just how we identify with our orientations. What we've been talking about, sexualities and orientations.
Correct.
Another term for O is outed. This one I have dealt with before in the past. I'm like,
really?
Very, very sadly. Somebody
don't
was
out your friends.
Yeah, somebody was trying. They outed someone to me, and I was like, hey, like don't do that. And they're like, so that's a bad thing? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, so I shouldn't have told the 50 other people that I told? I'm like,
holy shit.
You just what?
Yeah.
But outed is when an LGBT person, if their sexual orientation and or gender identity is disclosed to someone else without their consent.
Yes.
I had somebody who told me that they would try and out me, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm open. I'm
bitch, I'm out.
Hello? Like, have you not seen me?
Like, please look at me.
It was very weird because I was like, what? You're using that as a threat, which is disgusting, first of all. Second of all, you don't even know who you're talking to.
Like, I'm like, fam, I got the sides of my head shaved. Do you think I'm straight? Bold of you to assume.
My wrist is very limp. I am a very, very homosexual.
My wrist is very limp.
For P, we are going to pan, referring to a person whose romantic and or sexual attraction towards others is not limited by sex and or gender.
Correct. Unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
Yes. Yeah.
Outing is also
I do
a
have
big
a
issue
itty bitty limit in space.
I feel it. Oh, but wow! Thank you for the nut. Hi, Shannon. Hi, Wolf. Hi, J Wolf. Welcome in. Outing is also a big issue in the kink community. Oh.
Yes. Yeah, you don't just tell people what people are into. You don't just be like, that guy likes feet.
I'm sorry to
You
laugh.
let them tell you.
I'm sorry to laugh. I was just.
But that's, I think, the most common thing too, is like, because there's this weird stigma around like foot fetishes, and it's like, oh man, that
Yeah.
person likes feet, they're gross. It's like, maybe don't out people's kinks, like, unless they're public about it. Like,
Yeah. That guy likes hands.
whoa.
Oh my god. I feel that. Well, yeah, I've had I told one of my friends about one of my kinks, and then they were like, oh my god, no, yeah. Oh, did you know that so and so likes this? And I was like, where the hello?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? I was like, oh, I see nothing wrong
Listen.
with liking the grippies, the grippers.
Same.
So,
I like when people like my feet. I'm like, yeah, you can kiss my beans.
I have very pretty feet, I've been told.
I love that for you. I love that for you.
I also have very large feet, which apparently it's like a good thing.
I got very tiny feet.
I wear a size 13 in men's, which is a size 15 in women's.
I wear a 4 men's or a 6 women's. I can buy shoes in the kids section.
You're so lucky for that. I have such a hard time finding cute shoes.
I can get light up shoes.
Oh, I'm so sad. I love them. I don't think my feet will get the same love. And that's okay. Sometimes our, our feeties get a little, they get a little dirty sometimes,
Yeah.
This is okay. Next up on P, we have platonic partners.
Platonic partners.
People who are on the ace and or aro spectrum may have platonic partners, relationships where there's a high level of mutual commitment, which can include shared life decisions, shared living arrangements, co-parenting, and these partnerships can include more than 2 people. Like allosexual and alloromantic people. Ace and aro spectrum people may be monogamous and or polyamorous.
That's me.
That's you. You make shoes? Make shoes?
Yeah,
That's so
Feitshes makes a lot of
cool.
cool stuff. Feitshes has a forge.
Oh my goodness, that's cool.
You're very skilled.
That's slay. That's so slay. I love that. I love that. Fun fact, I am a size, oh whoa, 15 men, 17 women's? That's but you know what? My friend has the same foot size. We bought him shoes because he used to do football with us, with me and my brother when we were in high school. It's my brother's best friend, and we would go out to like discount stores like Burlington, Sears, Ross, Goodwill, like all that, and we would go into the large foot section and find these like designer cleats for like size 15 feet for like $12 and give them to him.
Holy moly.
I'm just lore accurate. I love that. Next up on P, we have pronouns. Very important, very important. Words we use to refer to people's gender in conversation. For example, he or she. Some people may also refer to themselves as they, etc.
I use any. You can call me whatever you want.
Same here. If you feel that I'm giving you more feminine energy, you're free to call me she, her. If you feel that I'm giving you more masculine energy, you're free to call me him. If you don't know what to call me, you can always just call me Chewu.
Yeah. Just don't call me late for dinner. Or hun. I don't like it when people call me hun. Yeah.
I like using the word love. Like, but I say LUV. I'm like, hi, love. How you doing?
I like that. That's cute. That's endearing.
I call you friend. Oh, that's cute.
That's very sweet.
Next up, we have Q for queer.
Let's go.
Queer is a term used by those wanting to reject specific labels of romantic orientation, sexual orientation, and or gender identity. And it can also be used as a way of rejecting the perceived norms of the LGBT community. Although some LGBT people view the word as a slur, it was reclaimed in the late 80s by the queer community, who have since embraced it.
Hmm. I love the term queer because, like,
Mhm.
it it originally came from it was originally synonymous with weird, and I am weird. I'm super fucking weird.
Same, same. I'm a pink purple himbo bear on the internet. I'm hella weird.
Yeah, I'm weird and a gender and sexual fuckery. Like, let's go.
Exactly.
And
I'm
like,
queer,
this is
I'm
the
weird,
thing.
and
Like,
full of fear.
some people in the LGBTQ community do not like the term queer.
Mhm.
So if someone says to you like, "Hey, I don't like queer," don't call them queer.
Mhm.
If someone expresses to you that they're cool with it, then awesome. It's very preferential,
Mhm. Mhm.
and because some people do view it as a slur and some
Yeah,
people don't. But
it's
the
another one
thing
of those
about being
terms.
the thing about being in the community is you can reclaim a slur that is against you. So we out here.
There's another word that I know many gays are trying to reclaim at the moment that I can't say for TOS reasons. I don't think I can say
Yeah,
that word. I don't think
yeah.
so.
And it's one
But
of those things where it's like, if you're gay and you want to say that, live your life, live your
mm,
best life.
there are,
As
but
long
there
as
are
you're
still
not
some
using it
people who don't
derogatorily.
like it. Yeah, there's still some
Yeah,
people who don't like it, like similarly to the term queer.
exactly. And it's like, don't just call someone that. But if
Mm-hmm.
someone who I like is gay calls themselves that, then you know what? That's their prerogative, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh, installing ventilation and a fume hood and filter. That sounds so cool. Wait.
Heck yeah.
I
You should
love
see the stuff
that.
they make. It's so
Oh,
cool.
I need to. I need to. That sounds so cool. Next up for Q is questioning. The process of
Hmm.
exploring your own sexual orientation and or gender identity.
Yeah.
That's a big one. I feel like something that people should do more often. Question,
Yes.
explore, you know?
Hmm. Like, your existence does not have to be a rigid existence. It's cool to learn things about yourself, and it's okay to not be sure where you are, on any given spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to label yourself as anything, and you can also be in flux. Like, you could be at a point where you're like, "Oh, I don't think I identify as this anymore. Maybe I'm something else." Like, and that's okay. That's totally okay.
Exactly, exactly. Now from our sexuality and terms, we are going to move on to kinks and fetishes. If you would like to hear me explain them more in depth, feel free to
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah.
next week.
My
Um,
specialty.
just because I would like to give each one of these segments, at least an hour for them so that
Mhm.
we're all good and clear for them so we can do your, kinks and fetishes and intertwine it with a little bit of sex education of being able to do, safer practices in the LGBT.
Yes.
Oh, we got
Yes.
it right too, just
Hey, let's
in
go.
time. Yes. Ooh. Yeah.
And yo.
Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chewunky, the funky yet chunky. It is nice to meet you. How are you all doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, Sorrowful Rose. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you're doing absolutely choo-tastic. We are doing a Pride sexual education and kinks and fetishes stream today. I call it Pride Education. Oh. Oh my goodness, Charlie.
Uh-oh. Are you
What
stuck?
happened to him?
Let's make this raid a heartfelt and engaging experience,
No,
filled with
my
gaming fun, laughter, and shared camaraderie.
What
Get
happened?
ready for
my
an emotional
my
and
talk to
enjoyable
text
time in the
pet.
arcade.
His voice is completely different.
Oh,
I was so shocked. I was like, who is talking? And I look and
who
he's just
is she?
he's yapping away. We're doing good. I am here with my co-host with the most, the gorgeous goblin VTuber Podge.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are actually just getting into our next section, which is all about kinks and fetishes.
Mm-mm.
We'll go epic. Yes, okay.
I'll
I break over. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much again. I am the funky yet chunky Chewonky. It is nice to meet you. I usually play FPS games like Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, etc. I'm also partial to other games like Genshin Impact, Pokemon Kingdom, Cult of the Lamb, Dungeons and Dragons, and Pokemon. I am also a Pixar artist. I do Pixar emotes, sub badges, overlays, etc. It is nice to meet you.
Can you make some banger crocs?
I do. I'm quacks. I'm spiky quacks. I love
Spiky
them.
crocs.
I love them. I also get I order resin charms. Then I sand the back of it, and then I make my own little croc charms as well.
Oh my god, I love that.
Hello, Aniela. Welcome to the cover
Hey, Crystal.
I'm the very good Chew. It's nice to meet you. Welcome in. Over Chew. Podge, would you like to take us? Yes. Oh, Chew Mover. I play too much of that game. Too much of that game. Thank you for that Chew care. I'll take a pretty good drink of water. Make sure to stay hydrated, everyone.
Yes.
It's hot out there.
It's so hot. It's so hot.
Thank you for the self-care. Hey, Pride, thank you so much for the biddies.
Pride, welcome.
Pride_EP_64.
Oh, there he goes. Thank you for the follow as well. Alrighty, Podge. Do you have anything you would like to go over first, or do you just want to jump right in?
I'm very interested to see what you have to say about kink stuff, but just as a preface, I do a lot of kink education on my stream as well. We focus a lot on safe kink practices, and a lot of standard kink education. There's a lot of stuff people don't know about kink, and I think a lot of people have a lot of shame surrounding kink. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as you're not doing something illegal, you know, exploring your kink it's healthy to have kinks. It's healthy to have interests. Everyone has a kink. Everyone is into something. It's just some of them are more common than others. So I want you guys to throw those feelings of shame out the window, because you do not need to be ashamed of your kinks. Unless they're illegal, in which case you should be very ashamed of your kinks and get a therapist.
Yes. Remember, some kinks are just that you need therapy for. Please remember.
Yeah. And there's some things that are okay in fantasy, but not in reality.
Yeah.
They're, as long as we have healthy boundaries and the ability to think critically about our kinks and where they come from. I recommend therapy for everyone, even if you think you don't have issues, but because everyone does. But yeah, because kink is very psychological. It comes from a place based on our experiences in a lot of respects. So kink and psychology are very, very intertwined, and sometimes that can be a very delicate thing. So these are things we have to think about when we talk about kink, and that are important to acknowledge. So I think it's good to preface any kind of kink talk with that sort of thing.
Exactly. I really like the way that you put that as well. Going into our little talk over here, we're going to be sort of answering the differences. If you have, Podge, a sort of maybe definition, what would you say is the differences of kinks and fetishes?
It's interesting because I don't hear fetish used a lot in terms of like kink talk anymore. It's like fetish is almost like the dirty word for kink. I think a lot of people have moved away from the word fetish, but um I think, and this is more of a personal understanding of kink versus fetish is just like a very deep, often sexual interest in something, whereas kink is like sort of the practice of that thing. Um they're very closely intertwined, but I think kink is a more like in this year 2024, I think most people just use the word kink. But I actually would really like to look into, you know, like research that deeper, because I haven't really thought about it all that hard, and now I'm thinking about it.
So I feel like the terms sometimes they get used like kind of like intertwined, right? They get intertwined a lot when people talk about it. I also feel like they, in modern day, we like to kind of downplay them sometimes when we talk about things, when they're like oh yeah, I have a fetish for like tall guys, just because you have a preference for taller people. Or sometimes people are saying, you know, I have an ice cream kink, maybe because they just like a lot of ice cream. But they don't really, you know, use the terms exactly as they're supposed to be used.
Yeah, I think fetish is more like an enhanced sexual interest in a specific thing. Like, because you could say like I have a fetish for tall guys, but you can't say I have a kink for tall guys, really. Like, kink is more like the practice of a thing. Like, whereas fetish is like, it's like your sexy special interest. I think that's the best way I can describe it.
I've heard this definition a lot as well, where people say that a fetish is something you need in order to get off, and a kink is something you like, you or prefer.
That's interesting.
I've heard
I
that
don't
a
know
lot,
if I
but
can
I don't
apply
really
that
know.
to myself though, because like what I need to get off is a good wand and a large toy. Like, I don't think I need like and for example, like, yeah, okay, here's a good thing. Foot fetish versus foot worshipping kink. Kink is the action of worshiping the feet, like it's like the practice of doing that, whereas a foot fetish is I just really fucking like feet in a sexual way. Right?
It's really, really interesting because, you know, when we think about kink, we think about it, you know, as sexual and arousing, and kind of like when we think about kinks, we're kind of, I don't know, I'm like my train of thought went so far left. I was just like,
Okay.
what?
Yeah. And like, but before I lose my train, I do disagree that like a fetish is something that you need to get off, because you can have a foot fetish and not need to think about feet to nut. Like, so I would disagree that a fetish is something you need to get off, you know? And yes, the etymology of a word changes over time. So, you know, what may have been correct 10 years ago even will have changed now. Sometimes, not always, but you know,
Okay.
sometimes.
I obviously I do a lot of research. I make sure that a lot of my the websites that I use are, you know, not any like blogs or stuff like that.
Yeah. Not a BuzzFeed article.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, this BuzzFeed article right here. But this is from Houseline. .com, talking about healthy sex, you know, kinks and fetishes, where it's saying that, you know, that used to be a big definition where people were saying fetish is a sexual need. It's something that you need in order to get off. Whereas nowadays they are identifying a fetish which I am really taking to and liking this definition as a sort of sexual stimulant. Where
yes, that's
you
a
have
perfect
it,
way to put it.
yes, yeah, where it's like it's a fetish is something not necessarily that you need, but if you have it, boy oh boy, is the time's gonna be rolling.
It's the difference between 5 minutes and 45 seconds, baby. Like,
Hey man. It says that a newer definition says that fetishes are things that are erotic superchargers. For example, someone with a redhead fetish may be able to have and enjoy sex with someone who doesn't have red hair, but red hair is still special and lets them experience eroticism in an especially powerful way than when it isn't present.
that's the perfect way to describe it.
The meanings of definitions always, the words and definitions are always changing and everything, and I feel like that's something that we can really appreciate as well, that nowadays that we're getting into more of our education and stuff like that, we're able to kind of go and see that, oh, maybe something that was taught to us a while back, may not be as current as we think.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, it also gives us a list of some common fetishes. Okay.
Ooh.
Feet being the number one. Latex.
I enjoy latex, yes.
Nylon.
Mm-hmm.
High heels.
Yes.
Balloons.
I've heard of that, actually.
Oh. Uniforms. Well, I love a man in uniform.
As a maid, I can agree with this wholeheartedly. I have a maid uniform fetish for real. Everyone looks good in a maid outfit, and I will not take any questions at this time.
I have a maid outfit.
Let's
I love it. I also love my secondary outfit, which is very more femme presenting, very skirt frilly.
Let's go.
Suits, which I mean, anyone in a suit, oh my lord. Leather.
Women in suits, men in suits. Yep.
And the piercing.
Yep. That's fair.
Really
I have a lot of fans of my piercings.
I want a piercing. I'm so pure. I have no tattoos. I have no piercing, no body modification. I'm just like, I feel so barren, but I want one and I just get so scared.
Once you get your first one, it's over for you. You'll get so much more.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Yep, because that hurdle has been crossed. You're like, I could do that again.
I don't know what it is, but like seeing men in dresses and skirts make me just, you don't say, really, oh, okay. I see.
Your hat, I love your hat so much.
Isn't it so cute? And I can still do.
I love it. I think you broke Shattered.
I shattered.
You shattered.
Femboys, best boys. There's a lot of people who like femboys.
Look at our cute bows.
We're so cute. I love them. Oh, mine's all jiggly. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love this outfit so
Very
much.
Good. It's so cute.
Shattered emo. How? Let's see. Ooh. It says, how can you tell the difference between a kink and a fetish, because there is certain overlap between the two?
I think there are definitely overlaps between the two, but again, I think a kink is not necessarily like a single item of stimuli. It's more of a practice, right?
Okay.
Like it there's more to it than being like you can't have a kink for a facial feature. Like you can't say I have like a button nose kink. Like
Nose kink.
because it's not like that's just a thing you like.
Yeah.
You know? Uh but I could say, okay, here's a good example. I have a maid uniform fetish, but I have a maid kink. And the maid kink encompasses, the outfit, role playing as a maid, the master servant dynamic. Like there's more to it than a single item, right?
Oh, I see that. Yeah. I get that. Thank you so much, Aubriana. I really appreciate it. E.g., you can have a kink for spanking, but not a fetish for spanking.
Yeah, I would say
I feel like going back to the feet example, of having a foot fetish versus really enjoying feet,
like foot
worship. Yeah. I feel like in that sense, maybe you can have like a kink for worshiping feet, but maybe not necessarily have a kink fetish. But I feel like they kind of intertwine in the same way, though.
Yeah, I think there is a fetish as sort of a starting point for a kink. Like a kink can be centered around a fetish. Like, for example, I don't know if I would say spanking would be a fetish necessarily, but let's say that you want to say you have a spanking fetish. The kink would be impact play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that makes it a little bit more. Oh, it makes a lot more sense too.
Yeah, a kink is more involved than a fetish, I think.
Ooh, okay, so this says the distinction is defined as the difference between being particularly aroused by a particular sex act, geographical location, or sexual dynamic, being a kink, and being particularly aroused by a certain object, material, or non-genital body part, is a fetish.
And I think that kind of that's similar to what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
a kink cannot be an object, but a fetish can be an object.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I feel, yeah. Ooh.
And I think it's a lot to like. There's some grammar stuff in here. There's some stuff to do with language in this. Like I'm getting into like my English class, like.
Which it's good. It's good as well because I feel like also explaining it in different ways can also help some people because they can be like, oh well, I like that first definition, but the second definition made it more clear to me as to what it is too. Which always I'm a big advocate for literacy, especially because media literacy is well needed in this day and age right now. Ooh, this one is saying that some questions to ask yourself to determine if it is a kink and or a fetish can be, will I'm aroused by a thing or an action?
Yes. See, this is what we're saying. And it's like, you can look at it like this too. Like a fetish is an object and a kink is a subject. So the object is maid uniforms. The subject is maids as a whole, right? Like the subject is the act of being a maid. The object is maid uniforms.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. And there's I think it's also okay if you kind of resonate with both. Like I feel like having both can be sort of like that extra little oomph. Having your fetish and your kinks intertwined, I feel like could really make for a very pleasant experience.
And that's like the complexity of sexuality and sexual expression, right? It creates this beautiful complexity, but it allows us to use language in a specific way too.
I feel like also kind of thinking about like our own thinking a little bit now that we've gone over what, you know, kinks and fetishes are and their differentials, sort of going into thinking about our own fetishes and kind of thinking about also like the boundaries of fetishization and kinks as well would be something that would be pretty good to go over as well. For example, like I feel like with some kinks, like wax, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
you have like a wax kink, but maybe you don't like it on a specific part
Yes.
of your body. Like maybe you
Yes.
have like sensitive nipples and you like wax like dripping on your chest, but then if it gets on your nipples, you're like, ooh.
You're like, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think that's part of, you know, safe kink practice and communication. Communication is essential in
Oh,
kink
100%,
practices.
100%.
And I don't know, like, I like to ask this because everyone does it different, but do you do the safe word thing or do you do the stoplight system for kink?
For us, we for me and beloved, sorry beloved, I know you were in chat. But we do more stoplight.
Me too.
I feel like we've tried safe word, and sometimes I'm just like, what was the word again?
Yeah. I find safe word takes me too out of it. Like,
Yeah. I
because
feel like
there's no
just
middle
being
ground.
exactly. I feel like having that sort of like, you know, the stoplight system being like, hey, like slow down or just stop. I feel like
Yes.
can help also get back into the mood and be like, okay, wait, slower. Okay, that now we're cooking with fire.
It allows the person who is, you know, the dom in the situation to be like, it gives them an opportunity to give you an, is this okay? Can I keep going? Like, because they can just say green, yellow, red, and you can say green, and then they have that confirmation that what they're doing is okay.
Exactly. And remember, everyone, consent is key, and consent is
Yes.
sexy as shit.
Yes. Say it again for the people in the back.
Period. Consent is key. Consent is sexy.
Yes.
Stoplight has levels besides just like a normal stoplight, right? We have, you know, green means go, yellow means slow, red means full stop. We have a bunch of different levels. Even if you're just like, even if you want to go green to blue and be like, go full force.
Yeah. Blue is when you hit the nitro.
Yeah, break the speed limit.
Yeah, like, go harder. I also have utilized purple, and purple is I like what you're doing, but I need you to do it somewhere else.
Oh.
So like my left booty cheek is sore. You can do it on my right booty cheek now. Like,
I like that. And tops can call safe words and stoplights too. Exactly. Yeah. It's not just a one-way street, you know. Some bottoms don't get all the fun. The tops have to enjoy it as well. Also, vice versa. Speaking of verse, hi.
same please.
I feel like understanding our own boundaries can, you know, they help identify what we're interested in, what we're not interested in. And I feel like that also, you know, going a little bit back can also help us decide, you know, like, should I get help for this? Like,
Well, and like, this is something that's come up in my community too, because someone once asked me during a stream, like, how do you know what your boundaries are? And sometimes you don't know until you're in the situation and you find that boundary. And that's why safe words or stoplights is so important, because if you've hit that boundary, you need to be able to say, okay, stop. And, you know, and sometimes conversely, you might think, oh, this is my boundary, and then you're in it and you're like, oh, actually I want more of this. I want to take this a step further. Like,
it goes both ways, you know. Having that boundary, going there, being able to explore that, but exploring it safely as well. Exploring it safely being a key issue there, because you don't want to go to a boundary that's a little much for you and then just be like, oh shit, I can't go back.
Yeah. And sometimes boundaries get crossed and it's nobody's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you're in a situation where you think like, yeah, I want to try this. I've never tried it. I want to try it. And then you find out you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think aftercare and communication in that regard is super, super important. So you can you can kind of debrief and come down and say like, hey, I'm glad we tried that, but I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. I feel like
And
aftercare
then
is
nobody
very
feels bad.
essential. Exactly.
Yes.
I feel like aftercare should be a very like almost necessary, honestly,
Yeah.
because if you're not giving the aftercare, then come on.
Yeah. Like it's so important.
I feel like a lot of people they don't take the time to do it either sometimes, which I'm just like
It's so necessary.
I'm like,
And doms need aftercare too.
right? Exactly.
Tell your dom that they're a good person and that you enjoyed what they did to you.
I know I've done it with someone who's more dominant. And they were the sweetest little bean. They were like, I didn't hurt you, right? I'm like, no. I like this.
Yep.
Dom/me drop is real.
Yeah, dom drop is a very big thing. Like you can send someone into subspace, but you can also experience dom drop, and it's very important to take care of your dom too. They need aftercare as well.
Exactly.
Feed each other cookies and cuddle.
Cuddles. I'm a big cuddler. I'm a
Me too.
big cuddler.
Me too.
But I'm very large, and I like being the little spoon.
I love that. I like being the backpack.
I'm just like, hi, I'm big, and I'm just fully encompassing my fiance's body. I'm just like, I am small. When in fact, I am a very large individual.
I love that though. Like, and I think big folks should get the opportunity to feel small sometimes if they want to, and I want to feel big sometimes, so I like being the big spoon sometimes.
Exactly.
Like, let me give you a forehead kiss. I take care of you.
Well, thankfully, my partner is taller than I am. So this is like one of the first times I've ever gotten to feel smaller. I'm just like, oh, I like.
That's precious.
Because yeah, it's hard, especially because people are like, oh yeah, you're tall, like you're the bigger one, you're the dominant one. I'm like,
yeah, you must be the dominant one all the time.
Sometimes I like being tiny little baby too.
Yeah. And I usually people are like, oh, you're small, you must be a sub, and I'm like, oh honey, oh, you're in for it now. I consistently surprise new followers when I go into mommy mode, and like tiny doms are powerful. It's one, your height makes no difference when you're on your knees, and two, there's something special about submitting to someone who is smaller than you, who you could overpower, but they are so in it that like you don't even think of doing it.
Like with the true care sliding. I've never been hugged, so I don't know what that feels like. Oh, I missed this.
I'm gonna give you a hug at TwitchCon.
Big ol' hug. A big ol' hug.
Yeah.
I feel like also considering safety as well. For our kinks and fetishes, like how you had mentioned impact play being a physically higher risk than other kinks may have.
And there are a lot of kinks that carry sort of a a dangerousness to them, which I think is why people enjoy them.
Yeah.
So like things like impact play, knife play, things like that, And aside from like verbal communication and safety, like sometimes you need actual like make sure you have a first aid kit. Make sure if you're doing like shibari, for example, if you're tying someone up, make sure you have safety scissors so that if something goes wrong, you can cut that rope. Like each kink has its set of safety measures that you need to think about so that you can fully enjoy it without having to worry. you know, a little bit of pre-preparation saves a lot of headache and heartache
Exactly,
and
exactly.
possibly ER visits.
Yeah, yeah. All of those, those awkward ER visits that you hear about. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have this thing that is stuck somewhere.
In my rectum.
It's in my booty hole.
Is in my booty hole.
I slipped
Flared
and I
base.
fell.
Flared base.
Flared base.
Use a flared base, please.
I said that during Christmas time because I saw because there's the the Christmas ornaments and then like how they're the Christmas trees. I'm like, oh, that doesn't have a flared base.
Doesn't have a flared base. Don't put it in your booty hole.
Don't put it in your. It may look like it wants to go in your booty hole, but don't put it in the booty hole.
And that's
Or
danger.
it can get lost.
Yeah. Don't put Buzz Lightyear in your booty hole.
Does
Don't
Buzz
do it. He
Lightyear
does not have a flared base.
He doesn't have a flared base. I'm like, does it have a
I
flared
mean,
base?
you could, if you put his wings out and then you put him feet first, then
True,
maybe you could get away with it.
True. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see a Buzz Lightyear in the booty hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, some people are really into Buzz Lightyear. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that's true.
I only bring this up because it was a thing. Someone got a Buzz Lightyear toy stuck in their ass.
I saw that.
Deploy the wings.
I feel like
It's probably in Florida.
you know what? That sounds like something that would happen in Florida. That sounds like something that would happen.
So this is some Florida man stuff right there.
Yeah. In essence, I feel like I'm just like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Infinity or booty hole. How do you feel like do you feel like you discovered like the kink, like maybe any kink that you have? Do you feel like you discovered it, or do you feel like you may have like had it like deeply submerged in the back, and you're just like, I don't want to say that, and then it's come to fruition?
Some of my kinks have definitely been like a why are you like this kind of thing. But other ones I've definitely like discovered not even considering. Like I would have never considered, like, because I'm not into feet, but I didn't know that I enjoyed foot worship. Like I enjoy when my partner worships my feet, and I never even thought about that would be a thing until someone was doing it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of into this. Like, I don't know, like just putting your beans on someone's face is kind of nice. I don't know. So that was like a, out of left field, probably would have never discovered it unless someone did it kind of thing. But other things, I'm like, you were really into vampires when you were young, and that really never went away. It's like, this says some things about you.
When we're talking about a lot of fetishes or kinks, actually, there's quite a few of them that kind of like pop up in media, but I feel like some of them aren't really like explained necessarily, or people don't have that good of a definition of what they are,
Right.
or how they what's the word, how they pan out.
Yeah.
How would you say maybe like a dom sub relationship would truly pan out?
So I think I really like that question because dom and sub and top and bottom are two different things. Because you could be a sub and be on top, and you can be a dom and be on the bottom. But like, do you want me to describe the dom sub dynamic?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so Dom and sub stands for dominant and submissive. I'm sure a lot of people know that. Some people don't. And then there's this fun thing called switches, which we can talk about too. Switch or verse. So submissive, literally, it's pretty straightforward. But you are sort of the recipient of certain things. Like you want the kink acted out on you. Is probably the best way I can describe it. You are at the mercy of another person and you like it. Dominant, is you are controlling the scene in a way. Both the dom and the sub control the scene, but you are the one acting out something on someone else. You are the giver of the scenario. Oh, there, my ADHD, I tell you. And some people are only dominant or only submissive. Bran!
Oh my god!
Speaking of doms,
Didn't get into played at the channel for 28
Hey! Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, hello, hello! Welcome in.
Hey, congrats on meeting your follow goal.
Oh, hey! Thank you! Let me do pop a shout out. Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is the Chunky Yet Funky Chewunky. I am a Plush Berry Himbo Verdi tuber. I usually play FPS games like Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Valorant, Fortnite, etc. I'm also partial to other games like Genshin Impact, Cookie Run Kingdom, Courtal Lamb, Dungeons and Dragons, and Pokemon. I am also a pixel artist. I do pixel art emotes, sub badges, overlays, etc. You name them, I'll try and pixel them. I am here today with my co-host with the most Podge.
Hi. I would do the whole spiel, but most of Brand's community already knows who I am.
Welcome, and thank you so much for the raid, Brian. We are talking about Pride education. At the moment, we are specifically talking about kinks and fetishes. Even more specifically, subs and doms in their relationships.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess I can give an example of my own relationship because Bran is here. So Bran is a dom. I, however, am a switch. So in our relationship, I am typically submissive. I push sometimes, you know. I try to get him on his knees, you know. It's the dommy side of me comes out sometimes, especially when he says he'll be my butler and calls me mistress. But like, so in our relationship, I typically take the submissive role because I am not about to overstep boundary. See, he's calling me my lady. Bruh. So I am not going to overstep boundaries despite, you know, certain preferences, and be like, no, I'm going to dom you, because that is not what Bran wants, and I would not do that to him. That said, I am also poly, and, you know, I have lots of other opportunities to dom. I very much enjoy my dynamic with Bran, and we have a lot of fun in that regard, but I am very much a switch, and, you know, depending on the relationship, I may want different things. I've had partners where I am a dom and a sub for them. I've had partners where I am a dom only. I have had partners where I am a sub only. So it very much depends on the relationship and the dynamic, and you know, my partner's preferences too. Did I get that right, Bran? See, and Bran accepts that I'm a switch. And I love that.
That's so lovely. I really, really like that. I enjoy that.
He likes watching me dom people too.
Hey, oh.
First time he saw it, he was like, shit. Oh shit, you're powerful. Enjoys watching me work. I like working together with Bran to dom other people too.
Oh, double
Yes.
trouble.
The double trouble.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
In the back, I like it.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, battle maid stuff.
Battle maid, let's go.
That sounds so freaking
excited.
cool. Oh my goodness. Thank you, J Wolf. I'm glad you like it. Diving from, Dom and Sub and Verse and Switch, talking about all of our fetishes and kinks and stuff like that. Which obviously since you disposed exposed some of your kings, some of mine include voyeurism and exhibitionism.
Yes, I love it.
I really like being watched. But
That's
also
great, 'cause I love watching.
but being safe about these things as well, and making sure that we're not breaking any laws here. No one's going out in public.
We have a chair, and I don't know why we call it
you
the
have a
cuck
cuck
chair.
chair?
We have a cuck chair, but we're not into that. Like, we're not into cucking, but we have a chair so that one of us can sit and watch.
I have a story. A little off topic, but on topic. So we play D&D in my room. And I have a spare table and chair, and so one day we put the chair, and it's in like kind of in my closet ish, and it's just directly facing the bed, facing the bed. And so one day my fiance comes in and he's like, why the fuck do you have a cuck chair? I'm like, what? And I'm looking, and it's just a chair looking directly at the bed. And I'm like, oh shit. And so now when we're playing D&D, I'm like, okay, who gets the cuck chair?
I love that we both have a cuck chair.
Right? And it's one from the kitchen. It's a wooden kitchen chair.
Oh no, ours is like a big plush armchair.
Oh my god, wait, that sounds so cozy actually.
Yeah,
wait.
I just like the idea of like sitting in a big armchair with my feet up with like a glass of wine, just watching people bone for my amusement is great.
I love that. I love that for you. But going into like safety and everything, going into safe practices as well. What are your podge tips for safe sexual practices?
Yes. Like I said, having a safe word or using stoplight system, very important. Aftercare, very important. Also, a little like pre-talk, especially if you're doing kinks that do have an element of like preparation or danger to them, things like shibari, knife play, anything that's a little more on that extreme end, because you need to kind of preset the scene, talk about how things are going to go, especially if those kinks involve taking away someone's senses. If someone can't talk, if someone can't hear, if someone can't see, you need to account for that. And, as you build trust with a partner, it's a lot easier. But, setting those ground rules, understanding body language, if you are with a new partner, making sure that you've both been tested recently, and if you want to not get someone pergonin on, you gotta wrap that shit.
Don't be silly. Wrap that willy.
Yeah, or diseases. These are things we have to think about. I think it's pretty straightforward these days, but like it's worth bringing up anyway. Um, and I like to have a debrief like as part of the aftercare if you're doing a newer or harder kink, talking about what worked and what didn't, what maybe you'd like to do better next time, like even if it's like after the aftercare, but sitting down to talk about it in a way that's not in the middle of the situation. And researching things, talking to people who have experience in these things. That's why I'm a very big advocate for like taking the stigma of shame away from kink, because I think it's really important for sort of like the old hats in these games to like talk to people who want to get into stuff. Like there's some incredible shibari riggers and people want to learn that, but they're too afraid to talk. Because there's a shame there. Or like, you know, latex and stuff. Or you know, there's a whole myriad of things, and communication is the best possible thing you can do when engaging in kink. So, you know, communicate with your partner, with other people, with your kink community. A lot of times, local communities will have like forums or groups and meetups called munches. Munches are meetups where no kink occurs. It's like a meet and greet. It's like a hangout, so that you can get to know people. You can, you know, they can vet people. Like if someone's kind of creepy, they can be like, okay, that person's not allowed to come back. It's completely different from like a play party, wherein you're just hanging out. So, you know, not going to things alone. Just you know, be safe. Be safe.
I really like that. I didn't know about munches.
Yeah. I started going to them like right when I turned 18.
Me
and there was a creepy guy at one of them, and he, you know, was told not to come back.
That's good. That's very good. That's very good.
Yep.
We me and Beloved we're open. And so it's sometimes it can be a little like difficult for us because we are bigger people. And finding partners just because of our body size, because we're both I identify as a bear. I'm chunky and husky, IRL as well as in my VTubing sphere. But in the queer community, mainly the gay community, there are some who really, really, really dislike the chubbier folk.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's also very hard to find. It was very hard to on like Tinder and whatnot when I was trying to look for someone to go on dates with, and they are not gentle about it. They will just let you know straight up, to the point where people have in their profiles like no fats, no femmes. And it is crazy banana bonkers. Just like talking about it like openly, because there's also a segment where people don't want to talk about the issues in the community because they feel like we already get enough hate as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel like that's also something that should be talked about. Are there any issues that you found?
You're right though. Like you bringing this up, there is a lot of misogyny in the gay community, specifically with gay men. And it does come from, you know, being socialized as men, identifying as men, never having that stance questioned. Because as a gay man, you still have a lot of privilege.
Yep.
You still have a lot of privilege. And I think it's not even I think, like it's easy to get lost in that. Because for me, like I have never seen a Tinder bio or like any kind of like, what was the other one I used? Hinge at one point, saying like no fats, no femmes. Like I can't imagine that. That's so gross. That sounds like some dude bro frat boy shit.
That's
like,
typically who's posting it too. There's another part to that. I haven't seen as much nowadays, which I'm very thankful for, but it was also a racist remark where they would have openly in their profile, it would say no FFA, which Kim Chi, the drag queen, actually turned into a song on their season of RuPaul's. I'm sorry, a little nerd for me there, but no fats, no femmes, no Asians.
Wow. Also, kimchi slaps.
Yeah.
Just saying. Saying. Yeah, there's a lot of like, there's there's a lot of like trans misogyny too, and this is something I talk about a lot with like my non-binary and trans friends, and that's a whole other can of worms that I think you could do an entire stream on. But
yeah, honestly,
yeah,
I'm just like, yeah, thank you,
but
J Wolf.
yeah, like the misogyny that you find in the gay community, specifically with gay men, is something else. Like, I don't even want to give examples because it's just depressing. It's actually just depressing to the point where I'm like, man, it's hard out here for people who look mask and like pass as mask too, to have to deal with gay men like that. Like, I just
Yeah. Because I know and I know and I understand. I have a lot of privilege myself, looking the way that I do, presenting as mask, looking the way that I am. I even just because I am taller and bigger, there's a lot of people who wouldn't dare mess with me because I am a large person. I also did sports in high school, and I still retain relatively a lot of my strength. I'm a very strong person, but I'm also a very loud person. So I've gotten a lot of looks in public before too, but never anyone who would actively try and come up to me, because I will wear my Melody X, my sweet piano, oh my god, cardigan, hey! And I'll wear all of this extravagant stuff, but I don't have people who would rather come up to me. And then I see online, I'll see someone who's wearing a very similar outfit to me, but they may be smaller, and they have people who come up. Hello, Corey. Hello, Raiders. Welcome in.
hello.
Let me do shout out. Audrey, would you like to introduce yourself first? I'll let you go first this time so I can do my stuff.
Sure. Okay. Yes. Hi. I am Podge. I'm a Goblin Maid VTuber, ASM artist, live 2D rigger and artist, musician, singer, pain in the ass, and I'm better at making messes than cleaning them up. I stream a lot of body positivity, kink positivity, sex positivity, and I'm also an adult content creator. I am super stoked to be here. We're having some good chats, and thank you again, Chu, for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. I'm really, really, really happy that you're able to come here. Hello, Raiders. Welcome on in. We are having a Pride education, sexualities, kinks, and fetishes, and sexy talk over here. We're also diving a little bit right now, a little deeper into some of the uglier parts that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about sometimes, but we're kind of bringing to light. Thank you so much, Corey, for coming in. For my Raiders and Raidees, if you need to do any sort of after stream care, if you need to go get a bite to eat, anything like that, please feel free to do so. I forgot to say that last time, but please, anyone, if you need to go to sleep, if you need to do anything, the VOD will be up tomorrow. You can come and watch it then. Please go. Self-care is very, very important. Thank you so much for the raid, Corey. I really appreciate it. Happy Pride. I would welcome to you and flirt with you, you teddy bear. Hi, Vic. I really appreciate that. I've been having some moments where I'm like kind of on myself, but I just sometimes I need to just like put on my spiky Crocs and throw on a cute little sweater and go out. It's just been so freaking hot.
Ugh, I know. I'm dying. I'm suffering.
Mood. But going and diving a little bit into some of the safer aspects, do you think that maybe there's something that you wish you would have learned in like a sex education class for queer folk?
Literally everything we talked about.
Right.
I graduated. Okay, so let me preface this. I'm old. I graduated high school in 2006. My sex education was literally about getting pregnant and periods.
Oh
and
my goodness.
and how boners work. Like, And even that, the lady who I will never forget this because it was like traumatizing to me. The lady who taught us the girls portion of sex ed was like, "Oh yeah, you only when you get your period, you only bleed about as much as like a tablespoon." Ma'am, I released the fucking river. That is not a
Oh
tablespoon.
my
I will fist fight
god.
you in the alley for telling me that because I thought I was dying.
Oh my god. How? Oh my
Yeah, we
lord.
learned about STIs as well. We did. Yeah, basically, like, here's all the bad things that will happen to you if you have sex unprotected. I grew up in Canada, so we did learn about, having sex and having protected sex. But there was no LGBTQ of any kind sort of education when I was in school.
Yeah, even me, being in school still a little more recently, even then, still nothing. Also, hello, Gun Hilder and Nowhere Next. Thank you for the follows. Welcome in. I remember vividly. It was in middle school. They had showed us a video. We had to get parental consent. We were split up between the guys and the girls, and I'm just like, well, okay. And then all they talked about was heterosexual man and woman sex.
Yes.
And I'm just like,
How babies.
where's my time? What happens about me? Also, thank you, Mom, for the follow. I won't get to experience that joy of the part of periods.
I don't wish it upon anyone.
I wouldn't say joy. I've heard horror stories from many a friend.
I had my fallopian tubes removed because I never want to give birth. And I'm adamant about that, but like I wish I had just asked for a hysterectomy because if I could just live my life without periods, A, that would be much more gender affirming for me, and B, I wouldn't have to have periods, which is pretty great.
I feel like what was I gonna say?
Periods can be debilitating.
Yeah,
It does not happen after bottom surgery because you don't have the ovaries or the what the fuck is the I keep wanting to say womb. I think about breeding a lot, okay? So like your body can't actually produce a period because you have a manufactured Vigucci. Uterus! That's the word! Thank you! Why can't I think of that today? Because I don't want mine. It's because I don't want mine.
I heard, I don't know if this is the true or false or not, so don't quote me on this, but I heard that trans women get phantom cramps.
You can, yes. That's a byproduct of estrogen.
Okay. I wasn't sure about that, and I was like, I think this is a thing. I don't want to be wrong.
But you won't actually like bleed because you don't have a uterus to develop a lining. You don't have ovaries telling your uterus to do that because ovaries are what like it signals to the uterus like, okay, get rid of it.
Yeah. I had one of my friends, she sat her boyfriend at the time down and was like, since you don't know what a period is, evidently she was pissed. She was so pissed at him because so she was on her period and she asked him to go and get her a tampon from her purse. And he didn't know what it looked like.
My favorite thing is what size pussy you wear.
Whenever I think of that, I think of the Mean Girls quote where she's like, I can't help it that I have a white tip vagina and a heavy flow.
Yeah.
But he didn't know what it looked like, so he just grabbed a bunch of tissues and like threw it at her over the stall?
Oh my god. I think it's see, and I don't get why they separate the boys and the girls in sex ed because like guys need to know, like, like I think pee-pee havers need to know what coochie havers go through, and I think coochie havers need to know how pee-pees work too. Because listen, I was mortified when I found out how large the hole at the top of the pee-pee is. I thought it was a tiny little hole. I thought it was tiny. No, it's like that thing's like at least a quarter of an inch. It's like a little mouth. I was mortified that I went till my mid-20s just not really knowing how big the hole, the urethra is. I didn't know. I've dealt with a lot of penises in my life, but you know, I've never like, you know, fiddled with the hole. Right? So, well, I knew that sounding was a thing, but I thought you just stretched the hole. I didn't know the hole was already like a decent size.
The hole's a pretty decent size. I feel like that's something that people just don't really like think about until it's there or until it happens. And see, that's I think it's really funny too, because I know many of my gal pals who have never seen or didn't know what a urinal was for.
Yeah, a lot of yeah, they don't know how it works. Understandable, because when I was younger, I didn't understand how it worked either. But like, do you want to know how I learned the size of the urethra?
I would love to hear.
It's a great story.
Oh.
So my ex-wife and I were just lying in bed one night. And this one's for my Canadians. There's this show called Freaky Stories, where a cockroach and a maggot puppet tell you scary stories. And the maggot kind of looks like a dick, and it has no eyes. It's just a tube with a mouth, kind of. And my ex-wife turns to me and starts making her urethra talk to me like a puppet. And I was like, shit, that's like the fucking maggot from Freaky Stories. Why is it so big? Is that normal? Are they all like that? And I was absolutely mortified. Okay, maybe I've aged myself by talking about Freaky Stories. Maybe I'm just old. But she puppeted her dick. She puppeted her dick at me, and I will never forget that moment. It is burned into my memory. Why is the pee-pee hole so big?
Have you this might make me seem weird too, but okay, but peepees are so fun to play with.
They are.
They're so fun to play with. Even so,
I'm
one
jealous.
time I did it because I saw a meme of it, but I was going to town, and they were they're like, you like that? And I was like, and then so I grasped it firmly
grasp it.
And then I tapped on the head and I was like, is this thing on? And this thing dawned him, and he was like, what the fuck? I mean, I finished the job, obviously, but it was an internal thought in my head where I was just like, this is like kind of like a microphone. And then I went back in my head. Yeah, I was like, and then like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, and I just go back to a memory of when I used to play rock band with my family, and I had the
It's for karaoke.
And I was like, oh, and I was like, this thing, I'm like, bum, 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 is this thing on? I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Next time you have a pee-pee in front of you, just sing into it. See what happens.
Yeah, and then grasp it, and then just be like, whoop.
I
In
also
the
learned that, like,
land of the free.
oh my god. I also learned that, like, you know, dicks can really take a beating.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Also,
you can smack some stuff with that thing.
peepees can get ripped off.
Yeah, I know. I always have that fear whenever I bust a big one. They call it the goblin grip.
The-
I mean, hi, welcome Raiders!
Oh, buddy. Welcome in.
Welcome Raiders!
Welcome.
I do Kegels!
Keep it tight. Welcome in, everyone. The goblin grip is crazy. Don't give me ideas for mine.
Yeah, they call it the goblin grip.
What a first impression.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Podge. I'm just a little guy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in. I'm the bear that carries chew. It's nice to meet you. I'm the funky yet chunky chewunky. I'm here. We're doing a Pride education stream. We're talking about sexualities, kinks, fetishes, good safety practices during sex, etc., and apparently about goblin grip.
We're doing some general sex education, and that includes the goblin grip.
Welcome in. This is my co-host with the most, Podge.
Hi. Yes, I'm Podge. I'm a Goblin Maid VTuber, ASM artist, live 2D modeler, and rigger, singer, not safe for work, voice actor. I'm really good at my job. I'm better at making messes than cleaning them up, and I'm very happy to be here.
Yes. Just overall good sex practices.
Yeah.
With that being said, also, so do you I mean, obviously you know about the practice of douching.
Yes.
For all of my homosexuals out there, for the gay men or the mass presenting, when you are cleaning out, please remember not to do it too often, because you can make your booty hole sore and bleed.
Yeah, you can mess up your booty hole. Yes. I think we need to explain douching.
Oh yes. Okay, so douching is the act of when I say clearing, I wanted to say clearing your bowels, but that just sounds like shitting. I don't know what douching at. Oh, okay.
So douching can also refer to cleaning your vagina. However, it is not actually recommended that you douche your vagina because it can fuck up your pH balance. It's really best practice for butt stuff because you don't really want to get the stuff that hangs out in your butt on someone else's parts.
Yeah. So rectal douching, so for the douching of the booty, involves inserting a liquid, typically water. I don't know if anyone else puts anything else up there, but typically water, or commercially available douching products into your hole in order to flush out the fecal matter in there, so you can have clean anal sex with a partner. Booty skadoosh. Yeah, like a booty plunge. Yeah, like a booty plunge, like booty plunging.
That sounds like a water slide. That sounds like a ride.
Yeah, basically an
booty
enema.
plunge.
Yeah, a booty plunge. But if you do it too often, there's actually bacteria in your booty hole that is good bacteria, and helps you. And if you douche too often, you're getting rid of that, and you can actually cause harm to your booty hole ecosystem.
Yeah.
And so I know there's a lot of people who really like to they like to bottom, and they like, having it clean, obviously, but make sure that you're not doing it too often, because you don't want to ruin your hole, or else then what are you gonna do? You can't have that much fun anymore.
Yeah. Don't ruin your butt.
That's something that I really wanted to get out because there's so booty safety and douching and literally none of that taught. Not even like people don't even really look it up either. They're kind of just like, oh yeah, people just go in and they just like make sure that they haven't really eaten anything, and that's good enough.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I have had partners that like booty stuff, and personally, I don't want to, put my hands there if it's not clean.
Oh, docking. Oh, so docking is when it's when two males it's either one or both of them have an uncircumcised penis. So an uncircumcised penis has foreskin, and that or extra foreskin, and that foreskin will overlap the other penis, and then they will jerk off together. And that's what
Yes.
the act of docking is. Also, this is just like penis care in general, but make sure to properly clean your ween. Properly clean your ween. Nobody likes a stanky ween. I mean, a little bit of musk,
clean.
but clean.
Please wash your bits.
Any bits, honestly, but
Yeah, for the coochie havers, just make sure, your outer labia is clean and, the general area. You don't need to clean up in there. Your vagina does that on its own. Unless you've had like, I don't know, a reaction. Like if you use some lube and you're maybe having a reaction to it, then yeah, maybe clean. But because that's happened to me where I've used a lube that did not agree with me. But generally, your vagina will clean itself. You just have to take care of the outside parts.
remember to test your lube first. If it's a brand new lube that you haven't used before, make sure to test it first, especially flavored lubes, because those have some different they have additives in them from regular lubes. That's what makes them, like flavored and tasteful and smelling nice and stuff like that. But make sure to test your lube first, because you don't know how you'll react with a different one, and you don't want anything bad happening during your performance.
You can usually just put a little, like you can get sample packs of a lot of flavored lubes. Wicked Lube has really good samplers. And you can just put a little dab of it like on your wrist or like your inner forearm near your wrist, because that's a very sensitive spot of skin. And if, after like 30 minutes or so, if it's become like red or puffy or like inflamed or anything, then don't use it. Or itchy.
Yeah,
You don't wanna be itchy.
You don't want to
Oh,
be
God.
itchy, especially not down there. Ooh. And remember, what was I gonna say? Water-based lubricants for condoms,
Yes.
because other lubricants can actually erode the condom.
Yes. And water-based for silicone toys too. You're a little guy. I want to be a little guy too. Hang on.
Thank you.
I wanna be a little guy.
We'll be little. We're littles.
Oh, I chose the wrong thing. Hang on.
Oh.
Wait, I'm gonna be a cat for a sec.
Oh.
Because I don't know which one I chose. let me grab the right.
Thank you for the
I'm a cat.
pippy, for the pip squeakabot. Oh. That bodge.
Here we go. I'll be a little guy.
I love it. I love it. This is my Pipsqueak model, by the way, by Strawberry Straub. Oh my god. I love. Oh my god, we're so cute! Hello!
We're so cute! Look at us. We're so cute.
We're so cute! Here, let me move you on my screen. Here we go, right there. Oh, pog. There we go. Oh my gosh, we're just a couple of cuties!
We are.
Better than the accident on Sherry's channel. Oh?
Yeah, I accidentally had a little nip slip on Cherry's channel. It is a pickle in my pocket, and I am happy to see you.
Oh. Well, okay, wait, actually mentioning pickle in pockets, I saw that one art of you with the pickle, and I was like, oh my god! And then I went and I ate a pickle.
Yeah,
It made me
I
hungry
love
for a
pickle.
pickle. I love pickle.
Good.
It made me
Have
so
a pickle.
hungry.
It's good. It's got electrolytes.
It does, it does. It helps.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. Do you put salt on your pickle?
No, because they're already a little like salty vinegary, you know?
Yeah, I know. But have you ever put like a salt or like tahini on it?
I put tahini, yeah.
Oh, I
Thank
love
you.
tahini.
A tahini enjoyer. Yes, let's
Yes,
go.
I love tahini. It's the only like spicy thing I can eat, really.
Oh, tahini is good on everything.
Honestly. Oh my god, tahini and cucumbers and lemon.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
I like tahini on my avocado toast.
Ooh, that sounds
I'm a millennial.
good. I love mangonadas.
I've heard of those. I've never had one, but I heard they're very good.
Oh my god, I love them. There's at 31 Flavors at Baskin Robbins, they had a mango nada, and it was a mango slushy with tahini and chamoy, and then you put like extra like tahini on the top of it. Oh my, it was so sweet,
my
but then tangy.
God.
It was so good.
I love it.
I
Tahini's
oh
so
my god, it's
good.
so freaking good. Oh, we've already said, you know, obviously to make sure to get tested, to stay up to date on your vaccines. If you are a gay, homosexual, a male, please, if you are sexually active, please consider PrEP.
Yeah, I would say that for anyone who does butt stuff.
Yeah.
Please
If
look
you do
into PrEP.
butt stuff.
If you do butt stuff,
you can look
into
on
PrEP.
Mr. does free testing and everything, and they'll help you get everything organized with your PrEP and any other sort of testing that you may need, STI, all that good jazz. Orgasmically good pizza. Pizza sounds
Oh,
so
shit.
good. Wait.
I love pizza.
Oh my god, pizza sounds good. What is your favorite
I love
topping?
pizza. Oh man, it depends. It depends like what the other toppings on the pizza are. Like my favorite type of pizza is a Canadian pizza, which is pepperoni, bacon, mushrooms. But then I also add black olives.
Ooh, that sounds really, really good too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But that is all I have to say. That's all the info I have today.
Yeah, I think we did really well. It was very comprehensive.
Yes. Sam, I think we did very, very well. I think we did. Chad, what do you think? Did you enjoy?
I enjoyed presenting with you.
Sam, thank you for coming. Thank you. I really, 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 really appreciate you being able to come last minute.
Thank you for asking me. I was so surprised and so excited because I love talking about this stuff. It's very, very important to me. So thank you for asking.
Same. I've been trying to do some educational content all of Pride, especially because of, you know, like our climate at the moment, wanting to make sure that everyone is getting everything situated, and that we're all having a good old time during this Pride.
Yeah. And it was very nice to celebrate a little bit of Pride with you too.
Yes, I'm very, very happy. Very, very happy. It was a very, very nice time. I'm over here, I'm just like, oh my goodness. Especially the little Pippy Chew. I love these flags. They're so freaking cute.
They're so cute.
Oh my gosh. I want to have a little section where I do a guess what that flag is.
You should actually.
Oh my god. I feel like that would be like so fun. I know there's a lot of people who don't know what a lot of the flags are.
There's a lot that I don't know actually because I have a very bad memory.
That's a mood. Sometimes I see one and I'm like, I know what that is, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm wrong.
You're like, who is she?
Oh my goodness. Oh, but thank you so much for coming, Podge. Do you have anything that you're gonna shout out that you have coming on? Any activities that you're planning?
Oh, yes, actually. Tomorrow I will be doing my weekly Blue Twitch stream. I do stream on I can say it because this is an educational stream. I do stream on Fansly. A lot of the sex education I do actually is on Fansly. But we have a lot of fun over there on Friday nights. I will actually be away for the next week visiting Geddon. But we probably will be making some content together and doing some collabing. So, you can check that out. It'll probably be on his channel though. And that's that's pretty much it for the rest of June.
I
Though
love it. Any projects later on?
I'm in a new game actually that just came out. Called Book of Corvald. It is an 18+ game, but you can grab it on Steam. I, as Podge, am in it, but I actually voice one of the other characters as well. So if you want to pick that up, there's an achievement for getting me on your team.
That's so cool. Oh my goodness.
I'm in the game. I help you
That's
fight.
so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's called Book of Corvald.
I don't really know the flags. Yeah, there's a lot of flags. Don't worry, we'll do that another time. But thank you so much, Bud, for coming on with me. I'm going to go and we're gonna do a BRB, and another 3-minute, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna be doing some Overwatch.
Have fun with the Overwatch.
Yes. Oh, you're doing you told me and I literally just forgot.
I was gonna stream Tavern Talk tonight, but I'm very eepy because it's very hot here, so I think we'll plan that for another day. So I'm just gonna relax. And I'm excited to have the VOD for this stream up.
Yes. I'm actually gonna what I do with my educational and my interview streams, so I'm going to stop and then restart stream, so then they're separate VODs. So then everything is just all good and it's all separated. So we have one VOD for that and then another VOD for Overwatch.
That's smart.
Yes. So stay tuned for that. Thank you again, Pod. I really appreciate it. Have some good rest.
Take care too.
All right, we're going to be right back. Goodbye. I'll see you all in a little bit.
Bye. That was so fun. Thank you. No, it was so fun. I'm glad you asked. Me too. I'm definitely gonna put this one in my Discord for people. Apparently they can hear us still. Hi, chat.